I wanted to study law. I was influenced by the theater students.
That's true. You were actually even Nazi's first leading man.
Nollywood will teach you to break you quickly.
He sits and he opens his legs. Do we see anything we shouldn't be seeing?
What should you not be seeing? His leg. Oh my God. Wait. Have you not?
Hello. Hi guys, welcome.
Why are you folding your arms?
Are you tightening your chest?
I know the chest is big, but like those damn thing that we dragged you here. Please, people choose to come on this show.
Yes.
You don't drag them.
Wow. I showed you enough. He was very, very eager to come on the show. But asked and he said yes, I'm coming.
Now he's folding his arms.
Thank you.
You have to show them bad boy.
No,
That's fine.
yes. So let's start the introduction
Guys,
again.
there's no need for
All of us.
introduction.
No need.
No need. This is the blossom, Chukwujekwu. Our famed Nollywood heartthrob.
Yeah, so number one on the call sheets, number one in our hearts.
Oh.
Love it.
Thank you.
Yes.
We have to encourage such jokes because what can you say?
I mean, what's true is true, right?
Well, it's true now. Did you watch Who's the Boss?
That's true. You were actually even Nazi's first leading man.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Well, when you put it like that.
Yeah, so now this directorial debut, you were his first crush.
Yeah.
First what?
Crush.
This is why I said that, like, you follow them down the path, and then they led you.
I used to that coming.
What was that first
No, please, come on.
So my mother saw Who's the Boss, and she
Right.
was like, "That's you, right?" I'm like, "No, it's not me." She's like, "Yo, that's a version of you." It's like, "No, it's not a version of me." And I said, because in her mind, she kept saying
The character
that,
was
the character. Yes, that I was like, "No." But
Your mom thinks.
Can I borrow you
quite
this?
highly
Can
of
you
you.
just wear this? And cameraman, can you please zoom in? Just wait.
I don't understand. It's just an argument. That
Just-
wow. We don't know. Well,
How does that look?
I mean, if he's a Nollywood
I love it.
heartthrob,
Zoom out.
basically, I look like him, then that means I'm definitely hot. Hello, beautiful.
Oh God. Stunt double. If you ever did a stunt double.
That's true, like literally, like a less fit stunt double, you know.
Less fit.
So when I'm doing I've let myself go.
Yes.
That's
Anyway,
You guys.
right.
Oh, but it's great. It's really great to have you here.
Great to be here. Thank you.
I mean, what we just do is just talk about what we do.
Jesus.
Really.
Yes.
And I think what we want to actually talk about with you today is your journey. I mean, from seeing you in Falling and...
Flower Girl.
Yeah, I walked on Falling.
you worked on Falling, that's true.
Yes, now.
Flower Girl.
Uduak hasn't yet paid me, not one kobo. I mean, Uduak, if you are watching this, please.
Write
What's the one with Unse? I loved you in
That's
that
a
one.
visit.
The Visit.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was
Yes.
Charles.
That was great.
Chris's film.
Yes, Chris.
That was
Stephen
great.
Davis
Yeah.
wrote.
Yeah.
So, like, what led you into this field?
It was actually accidental.
Oh,
Hey.
they just said, "Fine boy, come and act." And you're like, "Okay, sure, why
It was
not?"
actually very accidental. I wanted to study law.
Oh.
Yeah. Of course, we were living in Benin at the time, and then I have a younger brother who was picked for an art festival. I just escorted my brother there, and oh yeah, fine boy. Joined
Join them.
That's how people are clearly.
I mean, and I loved it was actually a modeling competition. Right?
Oh, okay.
But predominantly theater art students and lecturers, right? So, of course, I joined in, and I was selected, picked.
Wait, was your brother selected?
Yes, he was.
That's quite problematic ride home.
But that fight at home won't just be easy. Just be see someone vexing for you for no reason.
Yes, he was. I mean, it was fun. We went on the journey, and then I was influenced by the theater students. Oh, you could do this. You're really good at this, and all of that. And of course, I took it, but coming back home to convince my parents that I don't want to study law anymore. I want to study theater arts.
So this was secondary school?
Yeah, this was secondary school, late secondary school.
SS2, SS3?
SS2, precisely. I didn't know that. Ah, interesting.
That's when you're asking people that you want to change course now.
Exactly.
Yeah.
True.
Okay.
Fire and brimstones, man.
I'm sure. Nigerian
Fire and
parents.
brimstones, my mom. For what? for dropouts, blah, 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 blah. Funny enough, that's English. She thought about it. I'm like, okay, that's what you want to do? All right, when your father comes back. So we're preparing.
Like, I'll leave it to the man of the house.
Do you understand? So we were preparing, waiting for that final showdown with my dad. And funny enough, that's what you want to do, have you?
Okay.
Yeah, no problem. Well, of course, along the way, they tried everything to just, sway my mind. And I finally studied, what do you call them now? Mass communication.
Oh, okay.
They deceived us that it was the same thing with the other husband.
Somewhere between. It's close.
Somewhere between no and
It is
yes.
not close in any way.
So this is a question I always had. Plays are not like an extracurricular. So can you, as a mass communication student, go and say you want to act in a play? Like in university? Or are they only open to theater art students?
Interestingly, I started acting while I was a mass communication student.
Okay.
Of course, in my school, Benson Delson University, there was no theater art department. Right?
Oh, okay.
So there was the drama group.
Okay.
Yeah, and again,
Okay, so
accidentally.
in that sense, anybody can be part of
Anybody
it.
can. Okay, so that was
part of drama. So that's where I actually cut my feet or started.
Okay.
Yeah. my journey.
nice.
So what did you do in the drama group?
Now, again, that was accidental. Right, because
Say it was, what's the word that you could
Serendipitous.
No, that's the English one. What's the
Seren what?
Korean one? You see? And you're mocking me for overusing English.
Yeah, I've been hanging out with you too much.
Wow, not a bad comeback. Anyway, so the serendipity of your drama adventure.
wow, interesting. Again, I escorted my girlfriend to the drama group.
You say girlfriend at the time.
At the time.
Always
I escorted my girlfriend at the time to the drama group and, hey, Blossom, how about you try this? And I tried it and I'm like, okay, yeah, you have the lead role.
Oh.
That was it. I wasn't interested in it at the time. I wasn't interested in joining the drama group. I just wanted to finish school, get out of school, and then pursue acting.
Okay.
But hey, that was it. And then started doing dramas in school and couldn't wait to leave school. Once I was done with school, packed my things, came to Lagos.
Where did
and
you
then
serve?
we also started Lagos.
Oh, nice.
To Lagos.
I'm sorry.
that-
No, I don't see what?
Moving on.
So,
So, but I was asked a question. This one that you just be escorting people to all of these places. Say you escort us one day to Dangote's house or something. So
if
that
she escorts you to Dagote's house, that means that you are the one that was supposed to go there, and then he's the one that got the contract.
as long as one person gets the contract, Blossom is my
share it.
guy. We'll share it.
We'll share it. There's no sharing.
So what was your first big break? So when did you came to Lagos in what year?
I came to Lagos in 2008.
Okay.
Yes, 2008. Worked for that was my service year. Yeah, worked at soft skills consulting at the time.
Okay, so that's like what? Resume writing, interview prep.
all of
Boys
that.
and all of those things.
And then got my first role.
In what?
Somewhere, in one TV series that still hasn't been released.
One day it's coming.
It will come out
Man, the
eventually.
challenges are crazy.
It probably would never come out.
Probably
When
would never.
2024
They have
right?
tried over and over again to resurrect it, but yeah. But my big break was that'll be Flower Girl.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
That's what I thought was your first. Actually.
Yes, no, we actually
No,
had
that was my
that.
first.
So Flower Girl versus Knocking on Heaven's Door. You did Flower Girl first, but Knocking on Heaven's Door came out first.
No, I did Flower Girl first. So we were missing one, Finding Mercy, actually.
Okay, yes.
Yes.
Yes,
So Flower Girl kind of introduced me to the industry. Then Finding Mercy introduced me beyond the industry, like to people outside. And then Knocking on Heaven's Door seemed like, okay, the guy can act small, sha.
So why are they conflated in my head? Because I thought Knocking on Heaven's Door came out before both of them.
So we actually shot Finding Mercy first.
Okay.
What year was this?
But Knocking on Heaven's Door came out before Finding Mercy.
Yes.
What year was Fight
I
Now?
think it was 2012, 2013, thereabouts.
Yeah, because I was at the premiere of Finding Mercy.
Yeah.
And because I remember that, but I know Knocking on Heaven's Door had come out.
I was cast for Knocking on Heaven's Door from Finding Mercy.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Because we had actually even shot Falling before Finding Mercy came out. Yes.
Yeah, I think so.
because
We had shot Falling.
And we shot Falling in 2015.
But that's the nature of some movies now, where some movies just spend time in
Take a long time
post-production,
to come out.
hell, and you're just trying to figure it out till
Oh yeah,
you
that's
get
the
it
one
right.
that Vicky won the AFCA for, right?
For best editor.
Yes, Fanny
yes,
Mercy.
yes,
Yeah.
Fanny Mercy.
With her barefooted acceptance.
Acceptance speech.
Vicky RG.
How are
Hey, girl.
Hello, Vicky.
Hey,
Anyway,
mama.
So basically, you did Flower Girl, romantic boyfriend. Finding Mercy, romantic boyfriend. And then, Look at the Heaven's Door, villain.
Yeah.
So how was that?
Interesting. I mean, I've always wanted difference. I've never really wanted to box myself, right? So when Knocking on Heaven's Door came, I was really excited about it. But of course, the preparation process was quite, how do I put this now?
Different.
Yeah, different. Because I mean, I never been to one before now. You know, so getting into all of that, the mental preparation, getting into that space, you know, had to do a lot of research, you know, some very shocking revelations.
What research did
4,000.
you do to learn how to beat women, please? I want to actually hear this.
I don't know.
You see, you were asking.
I don't know. Zulu looked at me. That was what I don't know.
That's
So
how
you want to know-
That's how people are accused on our way.
Before you people do, please, disclaimer, please, put a disclaimer. Damola have never beaten any woman.
That's like that question is, so how long have you been beating your wife?
I was like, what?
Yeah,
So you really want to know what's going on, you know, in the head of the abuser, right? I mean, why
What
they have
takes
to
you to that
exactly
space?
what takes you to that space? At what point do you break? What excuses do you have? You know, for the abuser, it's a motivation, it's a reason, but it's really just an excuse. You know, so yeah, you really want to know what pushes you. You know, you find out that too many of them, for the men, too many times is by the time they lift their hand, they try to bring it down. Do you understand? They can't go past that. They really just have to execute.
Okay.
You know, you found about 4,000 women were being abused at the time every day. Yeah.
So that's very interesting. So basically, it's like so that's the thing about, they say a lot of actors have to learn to love their characters.
You must.
Before you can execute the performance
Exactly.
in a realistic way. So how do you love an abuser?
Well, you buy into his motivations.
Yeah, and I feel like it's easy to do that. Not easy. No, not easy. But my point is this: I feel, of course, no one is extremely good, no one is extremely bad.
Right.
Yeah.
So, and even the Hitlers of the world have someone they love, right? So
He actually
have
thought he was doing right.
Yeah, Hitler thought he was doing right, for instance. So you find a way to key into that motivation, like you
The
said.
rationale behind the action.
Yeah,
Yes.
and because everyone believes that what they're doing is the best thing, we all believe so much of ourselves that we feel like, you know, whatever it is, whatever choices we're making, it's the best.
best.
It's the absolute, you know, it's the only way to go, all of that. You kind of...
Yeah, so everybody
find a
believes
way.
that the hero.
Well, you're
Yeah.
the hero of
Yeah,
your
but
own
it's
story.
more that. But the difference is, so it's like that thing that Ava used to say that when she was doing Selma, literally after the yell cut, half the extras are crying because they are so traumatized
By the journey.
by what they are doing, right? So that's what I'm saying. Like, so how do you put yourself in that headspace? So yes, in theory, yes, of course.
It's just a job,
I've
right?
written it down for you. I've read the book. Everybody's the hero of their own story. La di da. But you personally, how do you get yourself in a position where you can love the villain?
It's really finding the empathy, right? Of course, for me, having done the research, really just working it in my mind, trying to justify, you know, why it really should be.
Yeah, it's like
You know,
removing your personality from
Exactly,
from
forgetting
the
yourself.
conversation. Yeah,
Exactly, and then just, okay, first of all, yes, this is a job to be done.
Yeah.
First, get that out of the way.
Yeah.
Yeah, you have work to do. So, right, and then there's nothing personal. So find it somehow. Justify the
actors really do a
motivation,
lot
justify the reason.
I mean, if you look at it, that in that sense, you would almost, in that situation, the person feels he's right. So it's to find the rightness, more or less, or to find the reason to be right in that whatever, and just go with it. So if you look at it, that Hitler, I really don't want to use. I don't want to use this. I don't want to use this one. So let me look for somebody else. Let me look for somebody else. Okay, for example, let's use Marvel, for example.
Thanos.
So Thanos, for example, felt he was doing the right thing.
See,
Had
Thanos
a
was doing the right thing.
And had a just cause for it. Could basically sit down and give a TED talk about it.
This universe is finite, its resources finite. If life is left unchecked, life will cease to exist. It needs correction.
You don't know that!
I'm the only one who knows that.
Thanos was wronged by
You
the
were wrong,
right
okay,
person.
So which of the
Wow.
two of us are you going to kill? I don't understand. This Thanos was right, please.
Thanos was obviously very right. He was
Which are
a
the two-
greater good.
No, but which of the two of us are you going to kill for the greater good? Since you're not going to kill yourself, so who are the two of us that you're going to kill anti-greater
well,
good?
myself is necessary for the greater good too.
So which of the two of us?
Yeah.
So which of the two of us are you going to kill anti-greater good?
Don't worry, by the end of this conversation, we'll find out. But Thanos was very
Yeah,
right.
so-
His motivations were great.
So if you look at it, so it makes sense
And that's
when
perfect-
you can
that's
put
perfect
yourself in
right.
that shoe. It's Jake Gyllenhaal had a similar process for what's that movie where he was
Nightcrawler.
what?
Nightcrawler.
Where everybody looked at it and said that this guy is psychopathic, this guy has no empathy, this guy is this. But it was like when you think about it, and he basically said, look, when you step back and put yourself in the shoes of this person, you're looking at all of these things as a project. So these people that you're covering, to him, they're not necessarily human beings, or he recognizes that people need to understand their story. So I have to be there to cover it, no matter the suffering that I am showing at the time, or no matter what pain that person is going through. I have to cover their story and tell the story.
No, so I sort of buy that thesis. But then the question, of course, is this. So after you have now built that empathy castle and they yell, cut, it's a wrap. How do you then dismantle that castle?
How do you then not end up in Lagos traffic and one lady now bashes your car and you're like, yes, opportunity.
That's where crime punishment and accountability comes in. You know, man, this is real life.
And
If
of
I
course-
go home and do nonsense, I'll end up
Exactly.
in jail. But beyond that, it's just bad to do nonsense.
Yeah, but remember, you've built an empathy palace. So, like, how do you break those things down?
Nollywood will teach you to break it quickly.
All right, so move on
When
to
the
the
next one is
next
waiting for
story.
you,
Right,
you know, and then you
right.
can't have the same.
You can't dwell.
Exactly. You really have to just find ways to.
Literally,
to
you're
get
even
out
moving
quickly.
from set to set. Like, you've shot till 12 o'clock here, you're going to shoot one happy-go-lucky
talk
That's why
guy.
it's really
Yeah.
important to give yourself to sometimes step back, take time out to detox your spirit and your soul and your mind. It's really, really important for an actor. Really important.
So how do you build that? So basically so a lot of actors talk about that preparation time being important between roles, but giving the, how should we say, financial
That's
and economic pressure of the business, right? The need to do multiple things in order to maintain a relatively decent lifestyle. How do you marry those two competing things? Or rather, how did you do it at the beginning, and how are you doing it? I doubt it's the same.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. It's not the same. I mean, at the beginning, you really just wanted visibility, right? So you would literally jump on anything, right? But of course, as you progress, as you grow, as you blow,
Make a name for
make
yourself.
a name for yourself, right? Especially if you're if you are a real respecter of the art, not just someone who wants fame, right? You begin to try to differentiate. You begin to try to choose. Now you have a direction, you have a brand, you have, there's a vision for your career path, so you begin to lean towards projects, scripts, that you're creatively ready to express, and really follow. Like I said, in the beginning, you literally just jump on everything. So, but by the time you grow, there's the danger of being lazy, right? So, for example,
What do you mean by lazy?
So, for example, there is when you were coming up, you had a script, and the lead character, for example, had a lot. You had a script, and maybe they didn't have a lot of substance, but had a lot of scenes, right? You jump at it because it had a lot of scenes. Now, when you come to this point, and you jump at it and you make the best of it, so you give it substance, right? So you dig deep and you
add,
create,
yeah.
you add to it. Now, as you don't blow now, when you look at it, there's no substance.
Why am I doing it?
Why am I doing it? Do you understand? So you probably will pass. Now, as opposed to when you were coming up, you will do it. You will actually go the extra mile. So yeah, there is that tendency to really
can't remind me of-
sometimes.
Last our episode with Ufoma, where she talked about a situation where you get a script and then the lead character has like pages and pages and pages. For a young actor, you want to do stuff like that because it's an opportunity for you to showcase yourself. While for a veteran actor, they are looking at it and it's like, there's no substance to this. Oh, but I would like this other character that maybe only has like 3 scenes. But there's so much depth in those scenes, so they want that instead, and they're willing to step back for those kind of scenes because it's deeper, it's stronger.
So it really depends on where you are and what you want, right? Yeah, basically.
So how did wearing a skirt in Who's the Boss?
It was a kilt. Kilt, not a skirt.
According to Nigerians, it's a
actual kilt. Like
it's a skit. Okay, sorry. A kilt is a kind of what?
If he sits and he opens his legs, do we see anything we shouldn't be seeing?
What should you not be seeing? His legs. Oh, by the way, have you not seen... you don't know. Haven't you heard that short shorts are in for men? Haven't you noticed that
That's
trend?
shorts.
That's shorts.
Because showing
short
your
shorts,
legs.
I can sit like this in short shorts.
I thought about that scene over and over.
But again, right? See, you have to be comfortable with your masculinity. So like, it's hilarious. So like, that scene was funny because when I told Yolanda that, Yolanda was a costume designer, happy birthday in arrears, and this is like maybe a month after your birthday shower. Since we are filming it 2 days after, happy birthday. So when I told her that opening scene, that I wanted to put him in a kilt, she was like, that's fine, but am I the one getting the kilt? I'm like, no, don't worry. No.
Nas had a kilt, you guys.
Yes, so
What
I will
Nas
have
was
you
doing
know,
with
I will
kilts
have
is
you know that
suspect.
Nas in his
But
wardrobe has a skirt.
The accessories.
Where is my kilt? That's a very good
It's
question.
a skirt.
But
Nas
were
has
you
a
proud when you
skirt.
saw me in it?
Oh,
Like,
you look great in the kilt.
Yeah, so you
fantastic.
look
I made
awesome
it
in
look
the
good.
kilt.
There you go. You see, he had the kilt, he had the what was they call their long trousers,
That very long
socks.
the long socks and everything. I mean,
What did you say?
That's the German name for it, laser hose.
I mean, and they gave them the glasses and everything. So you see, and it was an iconic image that tells you who the character was.
Wow.
With a what's it called?
And that's who your mom thought you were. Maybe she'd seen that kilt together. I don't know, because I'm still trying to get to the bottom of that.
Oh no. So it's very simple. Like there was a 40th birthday in the Highlands and we were kilts. It was a whole thing.
Oh, okay.
Like we're very, even though if we had known that there was Nigerian tartan, we would. So actually, the celebrant actually won Nigerian tartan. The rest of us did not.
Yeah.
So
Right.
yes, there's a Nigerian.
So
green.
for the Scottish skirt, which is called a kilt, you can pick different colors. So each pattern is meant to depict a certain region in Scotland.
Right.
But then they've now extended it so it can now represent a certain region across the world.
The only question I have for you is, why do you have this information?
Oh no, actually, this one is because of our show. He actually researched this for our show.
No, actually, before that, I was working in advertising.
No.
Because there's some information that even if you know it, just forget it.
No, okay. So Daya always says that I'm a what do you call it? A sponge for random stupid information.
But this is not stupid because it's important.
But then
Important to
Nigerian tartan is
yes,
important.
yeah. So for example, if you are like the Nigerian ambassador to Scotland, for example, and everybody has to wear skirts, right? you would wear.
But we tie wrapper
You
now.
wear. So we tie wrapper now. I don't know. We could have tied wrapper for this guy, and he would have still worked out fine. But Naz was like, no, he's too tush for that. Let's take him to
To
Scotland.
the kilt.
No, it's also. I mean, so anyway, how was playing? Like,
Yes, please.
Since they refused to talk about other things.
Miss, I was playing that role.
Interesting. I mean, I had a conversation. After the conversation we had, at first, reading the script was really fresh. I loved the vibe, the energy. So I was concerned that Naz was going to direct.
Can you imagine? But it's okay. Let's be going.
It's good you were concerned. You had
First of
every
all-
right to be concerned.
Yeah, so
We were
first of
all
all-
concerned.
all of us.
First of all, having a writer on set who's not even directing is an issue. Then you have the writer who's directing, whose project it is, and then Naz being Naz. Wow. It was quite a lot to
Would
take.
you like to go into more details about
Naz
Naz being
being
Naz?
Naz.
You know?
No.
I can cut you. It's not that difficult.
I want my next project with
We have your back. Don't worry about him. The fact he's not in this show, sir. Cameraman cut him off again.
You know, of course, but I knew I was in safe hands. And I also knew that he was trying to make up for just a fine boy.
What?
Let me tell you what Nas did.
Please. No, Zulu, please insert the explanation.
Joseph Fineboy is a in bracket character
That is not
from
true.
a film called New Money.
New Money, if you
Where
remember.
this guy decided to make this guy, this big, great blossom Chukwujekwu of the whole entire Nollywood, just be standing behind somebody.
No, so here's the funny
Throughout the
thing.
entire film.
No. So here's
After I've waited
lines.
for this role.
That's not right
No.
lines for this guy.
It was a
waited,
non-speaking,
waited.
it was
So
a
this
non-speaking
guy-
role.
That's not fair or true.
Joseph
Let's be
Fineboy.
very, very
Nas,
clear.
you don't have anything to say
No,
about
I
this.
do, and
Thank
this
you,
is
Zulu.
important, and this is very important.
Okay.
Because
Okay.
I told Blossom before, I was like, Blossom, what I need you to trust us, right? I actually told him that before I actually sent him the script. When we had the conversation,
Yes, you
that this character requires a generosity that a lot of people do not.
Guys, have you been toasted before?
No, that a
You know
lot
when
of
they toast you?
no, a lot of
You know,
generosity.
I believe that you have the
Lyrics.
generosity in your heart to play this role because it doesn't require you to say anything.
No,
I just
but
require
you
you
see,
to stand there.
No, but you see, that's not true. Because the character, yes, in the majority of the scenes, was there to be support. However, there are many climactic scenes where he sings and him speaking.
He was speaking as
What did you just say?
No, but seriously. So, like, the one thing for me is that it was very important for Jemima's character to have, like, that it was obvious, because we're also doing that Goldilocks thing of, like, her finding herself. You needed somebody to embody the masculine ideal.
All we have to
as
say
the
about
person
this, basically,
who-
is that Blossom is a G. For
Yeah,
him to
but it
take
was
such
an-
a role,
No, but it was an
and for
important-
him to give his all, I mean,
Yes.
that's something to emulate.
No,
Any
but it was
upcoming
an
actor,
important-
any already made
Oh, you
actor.
people are
Excuse
badly
me,
behaved.
we're not listening to you, Naz.
Don't worry.
The floor
Nas-
is not yours anymore.
Nas, all we can say is this: Blossom can play Heartthrob, can play villain, can play police officer, can also play the strong silent type. And then if you are looking for
With
that,
generosity of spirit.
just watch New Money and look out for it. And people didn't even know his name in the film because he spoke.
Wow.
Blossom was just there in the film. Thank you, you did us a solid.
Please.
These people are haters. People are haters, in fact, because literally, because you know, like in the evolving New Money trilogy, right? So, like you see, we're doing side. I haven't even told him himself that the next one, the focus is going to be on his journey and all of those
But,
things.
okay, but in his defense, Sha,
Breaking news. Exclusive.
But now he said it's on camera. It's gonna happen. But yes, that's in the works. So
Yes.
hopefully,
Okay.
you know.
If we,
Thank
if
you,
I
thank you.
actually don't get run over before I get to write it.
Nah.
Yes,
Yeah.
amen.
We will
Because fine
not.
boy money.
you would.
Yes, Fine Boys Money.
Fine Boys Money,
Because
interesting.
Because we've basically,
Sound good.
we've gone from New Money.
We don't even need to put the apostrophe man. Just fine boy money.
I think that.
Just like if you hear fine boy money, but I think that is someone on transfer from one. Let's leave it. No problem.
That's your plot right there. Maybe that's his origin story.
More from Grace. And that's how he started. Sorry,
anyway.
please go ahead.
Anyway,
Yes, please,
well,
you-
I have. Oh wait,
But
you were saying something.
You people literally.
Where was I?
So, well, I
The
mean,
information
Lord
was
knows.
giving us still important. To be honest, at this point.
Please, can we move on?
Yeah. So what he was saying something about what's it called? Who's the boss?
Oh, who's the boss?
And then you people he then threw in shade on New
You
Money,
caught it,
and
you
then
caught it.
you haters jumped on the shade.
Just to let him know that we're on your side.
We're on your
Thank
side.
you.
It's not all of us that did that thing together.
It was a solo effort. Solo effort.
Under the boss.
That's why they put you
Oh
on
boy,
this side.
you guys.
So they can be what's it called? Conspiring against you.
One five. No, it's just we need to be able to call you out on the internet like this on a regular
But it was
basis.
important.
Okay,
Anyway, so
Don't mind.
who's the boss?
we got it. So yeah, I read the script, loved it. Of course, it was off. You know what I'm regularly, given. And of course, I'll jump at any opportunity to do stuff like that. Had a conversation with Nas, hooked up with Sharon. Oh no, we didn't hook up. We tried to, just build chemistry. Have conversations, talk about the character. And I really loved how fresh, and different. It really was.
Okay, one day.
Hey, God.
Nas hates the word different.
We're always worried about different. When somebody says that this film is different, usually I just like, hey, this movie is going to lose money.
I prefer fresh.
Well, there's that.
It's like fresh. Fresh is like, oh, it's a fresh take or something. That's great. This movie is different.
Yeah, but if people like this film.
Y'all like
Was in a good way, though.
Huh?
Was in
Y'all
a
like
good way.
the
now.
complex.
No, but I mean,
Different
but-
is nice.
Okay, sorry. Continue.
Oh, yeah, of course. And then, of course, and then getting on set experience was great. I was looking forward to first action from Nas. And so I really liked how, he was able to carry everyone along, from the actors to the DPs, and just make sure that everything is really in sync. He ensures that you're in the right mind space, takes his time, So, yeah.
I mean,
Great.
they only gave me 17 days though. People like
High praise.
No, us, we like we're artists, I mean, next time, 30 days, I'm not doing
30 days. Do we have the budget?
So, so one of the things that I did like about Leko for you is that, and it's this thing that we discussed is that, normally, that reserve thing that you normally, whatever, and that, it was interesting to see you let loose. And you haven't let loose. And I told you this, since the visit, it's after the visit, you're like, okay,
Yeah,
thank you.
beautiful.
That's not who we are anymore. And I was like, that vibe, that, swagger was what we wanted to see. And you should do more of those.
As an actor, he delivered.
Yeah, you should.
But basically, you should
But
explore that.
you should do more of those, more of those, more of the wild blossom as opposed to the boy you take home to mama, aka to the fine boy.
Absolutely. But I've been looking for those kind of roles because there's a lot in my head, and of course my expressions are, I'm quiet, I'm reserved, I'm calm, so I go wild when I act.
I want to actually change the topic a little here. So beyond, because I know actors, they always want to see, what's the character about, how much substance and all of that. Do actors actually take into consideration the distribution method for films? So if they wanted to do if they got a script and they wanted to know if it was going on DVD or if it was going in cinema, is that something that would influence them? And where do you place each distribution method, basically? Where do you rank it? How do you rank it for your career, for actors' careers generally? How do you see the Nollywood space, and with all these distribution methods, how do you see actors making their choices of going in a film, of taking on a role?
Interesting. First of all, I don't know that actors actually consider
That.
the distribution method.
Okay.
First thing is really just want to jump on the film and then hope that it is really out. Thank God I had.
Comes out in the first place.
Exactly. For me, thank God, I've always been interested in distribution. And of course, thank God I
We're
had.
getting there. It's a leading question.
It's a leading question into.
And also, thank God I had the right person by my side, my manager, Isomo Saji, who.
Shala Boo.
Yeah.
This is
Shout out, baby. I love you. Who would, who has, very, very curious, very, very wise. We call her the general. She has a lot of understanding about the film business, and she did a lot of work in that regard on my behalf.
Got it.
Right. Now, in recent times, maybe a few actors are beginning to ask those questions. It's beginning to be a matter of interest to them, as they, get to understand the importance of distribution, not just to the industry, but particularly to their careers as actors. And then, very funny thing, sometimes, I get scripts and you see they write it, a cinema film.
Oh, shit.
Like that.
Take it serious. It's going to cinema.
Like that is really going to change.
So I
my
guess some
mind.
writers or producers believe that the cinema route is the biggest, which is why
Yes.
they'll put it there to entice any actor that they're
Any
sending it
actor,
to.
exactly. And then sometimes they actually think that if it's not box office, I won't do it. That's why sometimes they write a cinema film, But the first thing is really the script for me,
But
and
the question is this, and I was thinking about it when you asked the question, I don't necessarily think it is fair to. This is why actors have managers and agents because an actor wants to act, right? So all those things are important. So it is better from an opportunity standpoint to do a blockbuster cinema film than to do a free-to-air on television series for your career, just by definition in terms of the way the whatever works. But that decision point is a one of those things that is fraught, right? With that, like, it is more that the agent is the buffer from the actor.
But the decisions they make is not without the actors.
No, it's not.
So we should ask. We should ask. Is that in this, for example, when it comes to making a decision for a move, your manager, your agent, do they bring you scripts and they say, look, this is something that you should do? Or is it people reaching out to you directly? And then what are the factors that make you consider at the end of the day why you take a project? So let's even say, for example, how do you get your scripts? From your agent, from your manager, or is it direct?
So we know it's Nollywood now, both ways.
Both ways. All right, cool. So we get it both ways.
Send him some number. No problem.
let me talk to him. So you get it both ways. So that's one side. Now, so you get two scripts.
Assuming they pay the same.
It pays the same.
Equalized pay,
The role is pretty much the same. So the role is something that you want to sink your teeth into. What are the other factors?
Distribution.
Bam. So
very important for me.
So let's put it in order now. How do you rank it in your head? Which one matters to you the most right now?
And why would you do the one that you think wouldn't matter?
For example, which one matters to most to you right now? And then in the times when you've gone against that decision,
why?
Yeah.
I mean, there are a lot of factors. I mean, there's scheduling, there's money, you know, there's of course there's the distribution. Now, by the time you place both of them side by side, you think, what's the reach? You know, short term, medium term, long term. Now, what's the vision of the producer? You know, having spoken to them, where do you think they're going with the film? What do you think they're going to do with the film? You know, when you look at that, and you know, a few other factors like how much they're paying. There's also the atmosphere of the project. I mean, am I going to be stressed shooting this film? Because those are things that by the time you begin to make a name for yourself, you actually begin to consider, is really, really worth the stress? Is the money really worth the stress at the end of the day? You know, if the money is really not worth the stress at the time, but maybe the distribution might be really good. So these are different. There are a lot of factors that come into making that, which is why you need the right manager who has your interest at heart, and then they'll.
So you believe managers are very important for actors?
Oh, very, very important.
Okay.
For any talent, very important.
It's a question.
I was blessed. I was blessed to have my very early when nobody wanted to hear that you had a manager. But when we stuck together,
why did people not want it?
First of all, there's a selfishness. First of all, there's ignorance, right? It's not something that they're used to. They don't understand the essence. They don't understand the importance of it. They don't understand the use of it. And then there's the selfishness, there's the greed. You know, they feel like, okay, the managers are there to negotiate, you know,
and
for their
interest.
Percentage. Exactly, just that the managers are there for just their percentage. But the managers are there for more. They actually help guide, direct, build these talents into becoming.
Besides Isioma, do you believe that there are many managers out there who know their for actors? Because I think that in the music space, I think a lot of managers exist that we even know about.
Yes.
But in the acting space, do you think that there are many managers? I'm trying to see how an actor would say they don't want a manager. Maybe it's because the manager isn't pulling the weight he or she is supposed to pull and expecting the whatever percentage, you know, from it. So I'm just trying to say, like, do you think people actually understand that part of the business? Do you think that there's a gap there that people need to fill?
That actors see the value in managers themselves.
Yes.
Well, not too many actors do. I mean, not pretty much, because it's beyond just getting you prod jobs. It's actually helping build you as an actor. You know, helping build your brand, helping build your mind. I mean, too many times when we were set, coming up before Isioma, before we got other clients, she was like my PA, really. But she was my manager because she just had to make sure I was okay on set, you know. And we go for interviews. She has to tell me the right things to say, tell me the questions to answer. So basically, it's really just
It's an entire.
It's an entire. Managing one talent is really a lot.
Yeah.
So it is very, 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 very important to have a manager.
Yeah, it's also the ecosystem that
we find
yourself in, where, like Nas said, give me Blossom's number, let me call him and talk to him, right? You have that happening across so many people that at the end of the day, it also feels like Nigerians are very personal.
Yes.
That let me talk to you, right?
Yes.
So now, when you now send me to a go-between, it feels like what?
Disrespectful.
Disrespectful one. Is this person too big too that you can't take my call? And I don't even mind it when we have the conversation first of all. Then now refer me to your manager, and then I now deal with your manager right after that.
So that's where the knowledge.
Referral to manager is even also disrespectful for some people. But
A lot.
So you get.
So good thing is that we both have an understanding, my manager and I, so we have a very good understanding of the industry and the people that we're working with. So for those that would not, and this is where transparency is really important. So whatever conversations I have that she's not involved in, that I let her know, so that there's no problem. So you also need trust. Yeah. That's why you need someone who has your back, who really who's not there for the percentage, because there are actually those people who actually are just there for the percentage, where you want someone who really wants to see you grow, who really wants to, push you.
I don't like talking to actors about money, because as one actor told me, why are you pricing me like you're pricing fish in the market? Like, literally, because it becomes this weird conversation. So it was actually
the value.
So it was literally this. So my number was 500. He wanted 600. Literally, right? And in my budget, 500 was already over. I was into my contingency. So that's 600. So I was like, this 600 is much. Can you take 550? And he's like, why are you pricing me like a pricing fish in the market? Like, because to him, if you can do 550, you can have those conversations with the manager.
Yeah.
Or another conversation I had with an agent who was telling me about the relative worth of their talent. You cannot have a conversation with the talent about the relative worth of their talent. Because this is someone that you need to come and give their all. And when somebody is throwing comms at you, and you're telling me, oh no, I don't think this person is as... So I don't think this person's asking rate should be the metric for...
Okay, so that's fantastic. Now, that is, and I buy into this as well. But would you have the conversation about giving what did he say? Generosity of spirit for just a fine boy with his manager? No. Or would you have it with him?
It's the actor.
You have to have that
separate conversation.
So that's the thing. In a certain space, that conversation should be had with the manager as well. No. Before he agrees to do the project.
No,
yes.
so what happens is the other way around. Even in your bodo, what they do is this. They get you on the project first. Talk. And then the business people come and
find details.
And do the money.
Yeah, but you see, at the point where he receives a script that shows a guy just standing behind the girl throughout, at that point he's thinking, I'm definitely not doing this. A manager is also thinking, why should you do this? So to have that conversation, as from what you're saying you would have had the money conversation with the manager first.
No, it's the other way around.
You have it with the talent first of all to get the talent buy-in.
Yes.
Now, after that, you and the manager...
So then we're doing the same thing where you're going over the manager to the talent.
The manager, no. So
with the manager's consent.
So it's like so Hollywood does something similar, right? You have an informal conversation with the talent to get the talent's buy-in and get the talent on board. Right after you get the talent on board, then you have a conversation with the management team.
So the management team's conversations are just based on finances?
No, so it's both. So basically, if
and riders.
No, so it's not that. No.
Yeah, that's what that is. This is what I mean.
If I send you a
so that
script,
manager, it's a...
No, wait now.
If I send you a
you
have a discussion with your management.
So basically, I can send you the script via your agent. I can send you the script via you, right? And I say after you read, let's have a conversation. Yeah. So it's the same thing. It's like let us use Eva DuVernay, right? So if you use someone like Spielberg, whatever, of course you answer Spielberg's call. So let's say Eva DuVernay, right? So this actually happened to her. Since. No, I know. I'm saying I'm going back to the beginning. No. So back, Oscar nominated director. So this is really funny how the Yolanda got on Middle of Nowhere. So basically.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Yeah, the investor that he read the script on the plane, right? And he called her, and she told him that your agent will not allow me to do the work. But he's like, not a problem. Send us this when you're ready. Send the script through them, right? And say that you want to have a conversation with me. So remember, the agent works for you. So the agent, if will basically say, I don't think you should do it.
No, but see what Eva did there. It was like a thing. It was
That she
an
refused to have
issue.
the conversation with him
She said, "Don't worry."
directly?
Yes. So there was an issue, but here's my thing. I'm just trying to talk in defense of the people who do the whole. I want to talk to the actor because besides the financial conversation, you really do need to have these conversations with the talent themselves.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
But you should not necessarily exclude
The
the
manager.
management from
Yes.
those conversations. Because in the sense that like they should know that conversation
And
is
it's happening.
happening.
Oh yes. Of
Because
course.
so like for example, right, there are many we are badly behaved like that. There are many deals that we have done where the talent have taken projects against the advice of managers. On a lot of our numbers, because it's like either the time commitment, the money, the this, the that, because they build a personal connection to the
So
project.
back to Joseph Fineboy. Back to Joseph Fineboy. If your manager said, and you also saw the script, and both of you are like nonsense, and then
Wow,
here
I'm
comes
sorry,
in.
what?
Hold, not as
Wait,
character-wise.
now,
Hold on.
There's nothing wrong with the character
I'm
of
playing the
Joseph
role of
As I
the
was
manager.
saying.
I'm playing the role of his manager. We've read the script. There's nothing in this script.
By the time I now go behind your back as manager to talk to the talent, and I have the conversation with him and tell him generosity of spirit and toast and not use all the
Toast all the
lyrics,
words.
and he now buys into it.
What will I do?
You ask for max
I
money
will
now.
ask for all the money.
It's max money. That's what you do.
All
Very
the
simple.
money.
You ask for max money. That's it now.
All the money.
So it's like
Plus
Again, it's
plus
a money
trailer,
conversation.
Plus
No,
trailer.
the decision
It
ends
comes
with
back to
this
money.
guy.
no. So the manager can never force an actor to
Yes.
do a role.
Manager
And it's
can
a good
override.
manager. Like
And
you should never force.
override the client.
Yes.
No,
At the end
you
of the
have
day,
to
it's still
discuss
your
it.
talents that is still at stake.
So
it's you that's
Because
supposed
Blossom
to
said
do
something that's very interesting. Like the responsibility of a manager, and this is more for a manager than an agent, is to work with the actor to. You have to agree on what you want your career to be.
Yeah.
Now you may not succeed in making your career what you want it to be, right? But you have to have a vision.
A vision.
And so it's useful for somebody that is not you to share a vision with that you're working towards something together. It's like
Yes.
it's almost like a partnership, right? An agent is more technically. Okay, this is what it's like
It's
a pass
business.
through,
Yeah.
a pure business thing. So and it's very difficult especially in a market where the rates are so low for you to believe that it is worth paying somebody 5 or 10% of your 200k, 300k, right? Unless you both believe that 200, 300k will become $1 million or $2 million in 2-3 years. So you're working towards something. I mean, there's that thing that Erica said, that like basically. Nollywood, like basically people like there's no money in Nollywood, right? So if an actor believes that what do you do to build the career to the point where there's money? You must have to have a partner that works with you. So
Yeah.
that's why I would advise an actor to get an agent.
Yes,
Yeah.
manager.
And a
Both.
Manager.
Yes.
And a good lawyer. Like you just
Yes.
need a
If you can
team.
find
Link-
someone
Need a
very
team,
important.
but
If
we
you can
need
find someone that can do all three, even better.
Yes.
Yes.
yeah, at this
absolutely.
point, when we grow to a point where we can actually afford to pay
That's
these
because
people
it's
these
5%,
things.
5%, 10%,
Yeah.
or
So-
5, 10, 10 or something.
Yeah, so I
Yeah.
read
That's like
about now, it's best to
20%.
find someone that has like a
Yeah.
legal background who can then be like your manager and then
No, so
For
legal
someone who
background-
has the
now.
network.
no, at least have someone in
Because it's important.
Yeah,
It
because
is.
in the old days, contracts were not as important as they are today. Now, contracts are very important.
Very important.
Yeah.
So I have
yes.
one question to ask. Out of all the movies that I've seen you play, one of the most interesting characters has got to be your role in Omogeto.
Yeah, Sergeant, what's his name?
Inspector Dede.
Inspector Dede.
Were complete for me. I saw that and I was like, I like
Okay, the
that
setting was
guy.
sanitation day.
Sorry?
Was this sanitation day?
Hassan was sanitation.
Sanitation Day was Hassan. So I feel like, but Inspector Dede, I absolutely love that character. Left to me, you can make a whole movie around Inspector Dede and his daily life and how his hands are in everyone's
Absolutely.
pockets.
Well, no, one hand, because the other hand goes.
The other hand was the toothpick. And there was the toothpick as well, which was just like, I got to admit, that's like one of my best roles that I've seen you play.
Well, I feel so left out because I haven't seen Omogeto.
September 10, Netflix.
Yep.
It's
Very
like
soon. Very soon.
I missed it because COVID,
Why?
and I had just given birth, and then it was COVID period and all of that. So I wasn't going out.
She wasn't going out, she wasn't going
Yeah,
anywhere.
so you are part of us that just rush the cinema.
It's-
Yeah.
Our
So
history
what was
making
that
film.
like? What was that like?
Very interesting. I mean, the toothpick, by the way, was part of the script. So
Oh, for real?
yeah, and Funke made sure, and I really liked it because it gave some, it gave character to the character. I mean, Inspector Dede is really what we see every day, right? And it was just interesting to, travel, to go on that journey, and and express. And Funke and JJC were really, really gracious on set. And like you said, I've actually been working and playing with with the idea and the possibility of expanding, the role to see what.
If he ever gets out of prison. Spoiler.
Exactly.
I will not be watching this episode, so I can forget what was said.
But if Eniola Lami can be forgiven, anybody can be
Of course.
forgiven.
I mean, he's Inspector Dede, so he'll find his way.
We'll find a way. We'll find a way. So, Zulu asked a question earlier on about distribution.
Right.
And a little bit told us that you have done some.
That's not the way you start. That's the way you start it. So in 2016, we the producers of Wedding Party,
We're looking for a distributor.
No, on December 27th, we were minding our own business when someone called and said, "Oh, we saw your DVD on the street." What do you mean? What DVD? Which cinema? Blah blah blah.
Here was Wedding Party.
Oh, and then it was like, oh no, it wasn't cinema. It was like, oh, so is it that? So people prior to that, sometime maybe on the 20th of December, were sending around Dropbox links, and we were like,
of the movie.
What is this? I'm opening it. Oh, it's the TIFF screener.
Yeah.
Wow. How did that happen? Then we went to the Vimeo. Oh shit, there's download enabled. Yeah. Anyway, don't worry, it's Google. How many people have Google? Then multiple people started saying, "Oh, someone sent me the link to this." I was
so it was constant.
We're like, okay. They said, "Okay, no, eventually." So
I love how we can say this with smiles on our faces.
Right now.
Estimated. The film was doing really, really well, so we were happy about that. So said, okay, fine. It will hit. What's it called? It will hit the streets eventually. But we said it will probably take a month or two, like Chinese New Year, like they would. That's in December. The first one started dropping.
As it was.
So we were walking through, and then in January. So after we called the police and we broke some DVDs on the streets in January, Film One, our distributor, brokered a meeting with a DVD distributor, who came to meet us, and he was like, "Well, he's out there. So we can pay you 2 million naira for the right." He said, "Sorry, wait, what?" So you know that as we are now, this film has, at the time, I think it had done like 250 or 260 million in the box office. You want to pay us? He's like, well, I mean, I have to go and be struggling. You people, you have met, like, we were like, yeah, that's not happening. So Mo didn't even come for the meeting. She was so annoyed. So I give her the feedback. He's like, nah, it's what you going to do. How can we pay 2 million for the rights to this thing? It's going to be.
Someone had a smart.
And then Moses was like, Blossom has been reaching out to me that he's doing this business. I think we should support him. And I was like, what does supporting mean? So this is the funny thing about that supporting. It's like, he has a view that, he can do a revolver, right? So, if you give him some money, he will then revolve it and sell.
Yeah.
And so I was like, so we asked, how much was the revolver? And it's like, it was 2 million. Clearly, that number is in the
There's 2 million. Do we pay someone 2 million for the rights and just produce all the movies?
So, take it from here, Mr. Chukwujekwu. After we gave you that 2 million, what happened?
What happened was.
What happened was. Was it 2 million? Okay, I don't think it was 2 million. I don't think it was up to. I don't remember. But I mean, it was a very volatile industry. I was young. I said, okay, great. Let's do this. It's something I had been thinking about, right? DVD, some distribution in general, is something I've been thinking about. And of course, when you think about the possibilities and, having the right business, because we had the plans, we had already started aggregating film shops. But what we didn't know at the time was that, first of all, before you even get to the cartel, trying to get these people who have run this business a certain way for a very long time. You now want them to come and be signing contracts with you, now marking register with you, giving you their, their inventory for the films. So you are literally invading
their own privacy.
Invading their privacy, disrupting their system. But you should have so communicating that vision was very difficult. And let them understand that, you can make more money if we all collaborate and work together. And very, very importantly, again, was the issue of integrity. Because you had a problem getting back, because you give them the CD before you give them the CDs first of all, and then you're supposed to remix. Sell and remit money to you, but that was a problem because sometimes for a big movie like Wedding Party at the time, what they did, there was hoarding. Now they will hoard until there's a lot out of circulation and then
put some more back up.
Some take the money that they've made, put in another small film quickly enough before that.
And it's like drugs.
So it was just a mess. And I thought I had the right partner because I didn't do the aggregation. I didn't have direct access to the film shops. I had a partner who was running that for me, but of course, till tomorrow.
You can't find him. You can't find him.
Till tomorrow.
Wow.
So I think on Blossom's report, I think we sold 50,000 copies. I think.
No, it was supposedly 30 of either 21 or 30,000.
It wasn't up to 50.
It was 20 something. Yeah.
Because the projection was 50 because at the time it was already out.
Yeah.
It had been it was 3 weeks after it had been pirated.
Yeah, so we finally did it in February. By the time I remember, it was very.
So
and
then money, 50, and then you did 20 something.
Exactly.
No, but that was the first run. I think there was a second run. It was anyway.
There was supposed to be a second run.
Yes, because I remember it was hilarious that when they did the estimate of the DVD sold in Wedding Party 1, they told us 2 million. And then some of them revised it, and I heard last year that the current
5
estimate
million.
was 4 million or 5 million.
5 million.
Now,
we are sending people's children to school.
It was a lot. It was a massive.
Let me tell you guys what 5 million copies at 150 naira is.
No, the retail was 250. It was roughly 250.
Wow.
Yeah, thereabouts.
Yeah, it was 1 something billion. We know now.
Thereabouts.
And our share would have been 100 naira per DVD as the owner of the film.
And
do you see the food that they're taking from our own mouths?
No, but again, so which is why
I'm going to Alaba. Who wants to buy me night bus
the cartel.
Which is why, like, literally, when people look at the $3 billion of entertainment GDP, most of it is still in Alaba. That's what we keep telling people. That no matter, like, and it's actually funny. The monetization for the majority of the industry sits outside of that 3 billion.
Yeah.
Right? In terms of the actors, the directors, the producers, they don't make the majority of that 3 billion. The majority of that 3 billion is made by the people who control the distribution in Alaba and the DVDs and all those things. Which I find...
Market.
And they produce at little or no cost.
Yes, but it's and
because they didn't make the film.
And that shows. Well, sometimes they do.
Sometimes they do.
So it's just interesting that like that. So what I tell people is that like when you look at what I call formal Nollywood is doing, what you're trying to do is not even necessarily fight that 3 billion because that's
you can't fight it.
What you are trying to do is
Hollywood doesn't fight it.
Exactly.
No, because Hollywood controls part of that, their own share of that money.
I mean the piracy part of it.
So what they try to do is expand
the market.
The non-3 billion part, or I guess in theory, maybe 2.8.
It's just diversification. So you just move outside of that 3 billion and trying to cover something for yourself there.
But then, the funny thing, like, of those new media markets, they are also the biggest players there.
Yeah,
and I love that. I love that because their YouTube, I'm sure if
they're on YouTube right now.
Their YouTube value, I'm sure that they are probably generating 100 million a year across all of them together, like
millions of views.
Well, business sense is business sense.
Our producer is shaking head at us that we spend too much time on this.
Yes, and we didn't even get to the really, really interesting part, the deep and meaningful part.
Wow.
No, we'll have Blossom back.
Blossom has to come back.
Do it again? Absolutely.
If you're going to 1,000 episodes, I'm sure we can find a second one for you to sit down.
I think you and me, we should just go to Alaba after this. And then Asaba.
But something good came out of that.
No, but let's find your guy first.
We don't need that's a movie. That's a whole movie.
So what good came out of it?
No, don't worry. That's for later. We'll keep that for the next time I come.
What?
But it wasn't all bad. I'm just saying that it wasn't all bad. Something good came out.
Will you tell us when the cameras are off?
And
when we call you back.
So you see, that's why you can tell talented actor.
Cliffhanger.
Keep you wanting more.
Yes.
Watch out for part 2.
Watch out for part 2. Coming soon.
That's our show.
Produced by Dada Opiweka Road on
that is it.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, guys.
Thank you guys. Thank you.
Bye.
Take care. Nice seeing you all again.